Benny and the Big Game. It was a bright Saturday morning, and Benny was buzzing with excitement. Today wasn't just any ordinary day. It was the day of the big soccer game. Benny and his team, the Green Dragons, had been practicing for weeks, and now they were ready to face their biggest rivals, the Blue Sharks. Winning this game meant everything to Benny. He loved soccer and dreamed of scoring the winning goal for his team. As he packed his bag with his jersey, shin guards, and soccer ball, Benny's mom reminded him, "Don't forget your water bottle, Benny. You'll need it to stay hydrated during the game." "Got it, Mom," Benny replied, grabbing his bottle and throwing it into his bag. He felt ready for anything. This was going to be his best game yet. When Benny arrived at the soccer field, he saw his teammates warming up and the stands filling with excited parents and friends. The air was full of energy, and Benny's heart raced with anticipation. He joined his team, practicing passes and stretches, while the coach gave them a pep talk. "All right, Dragons," Coach called, clapping his hands. "This is the big game, and I know you're ready. Remember, it's not just about winning, it's about playing together as a team. Help each other, and you'll do great." Benny nodded eagerly, determined to give it his all. The referee blew the whistle, signaling the start of the game. The Green Dragons and the Blue Sharks took their positions, and the crowd cheered as the ball was kicked into play. The game was intense from the very beginning. Benny ran back and forth, passing the ball to his teammates and dodging the opposing players. Sweat dripped down his face as he focused on every move. The score was tied 1-1, and everyone could feel the pressure building. During a quick break in the game, Benny went to the sidelines to grab a drink from his water bottle. As he unscrewed the cap, he noticed his teammate Jake sitting nearby looking exhausted. Jake was one of the fastest players on the team, but today he seemed a bit off. "Hey, Jake," Benny called. "Are you okay?" Jake wiped his forehead and sighed. "I'm really thirsty, but I forgot my water bottle at home. I don't know if I can keep going without any water." Benny's eyes widened. He knew how hard it was to play soccer without water, especially on such a hot day. But as he looked down at his own half-full water bottle, a tiny worry crept into his mind. What if I need this later? What if I run out? He glanced at Jake, who looked tired and in need of help. Benny thought about what Coach had said earlier, about playing together and helping each other. Suddenly, Benny made up his mind. "Here, Jake," Benny said, holding out his water bottle. "You can have some of mine." Jake's eyes lit up with relief. "Really? Thanks, Benny." Jake took a few big gulps of water and smiled gratefully. "You're a lifesaver," he said, handing the bottle back. Benny nodded and smiled, but inside, he was still a little nervous. He had just given away half of his water, and there was still a lot of game left to play. But as the whistle blew to signal the game was starting again, Benny pushed those worries aside and ran back onto the field. The game continued, and the tension grew as both teams fought hard to score the winning goal. Benny's legs felt tired, and his mouth was dry, but he kept playing, giving it everything he had. Then, in the final moments of the game, something amazing happened. Jake, now full of energy, sprinted down the field with the ball. He weaved past the Blue Sharks' defenders with lightning speed, getting closer and closer to the goal. "Go, Jake!" Benny shouted, running alongside him, ready to help. Jake dribbled the ball skillfully, and just as the Blue Sharks' goalkeeper lunged to stop him, Jake passed the ball to Benny. It happened so fast that Benny barely had time to react. But with one swift kick, Benny sent the ball flying into the net. Goal! The crowd erupted into cheers as Benny's teammates rushed over to celebrate. They had done it! They had won the game! Benny couldn't believe it. He had scored the winning goal. But as he looked around at his teammates, he realized that it wasn't just his goal. It was a team effort. If Jake hadn't regained his energy, he wouldn't have been able to make that incredible play. And if Benny hadn't shared his water earlier, Jake might not have had the strength to keep going. After the game, as they celebrated their victory, Jake walked over to Benny with a big grin. "Thanks again for sharing your water, Benny. I couldn't have made that play without it." Benny smiled back. "I'm just glad we won together." As the team gathered around for a group photo, Coach patted Benny on the shoulder. "You played a great game today, Benny, but more importantly, you were a great teammate. Helping others isn't always easy, but it makes all the difference. Benny beamed with pride. He had learned something important that day, that helping others, even when it means giving something up, often helps everyone in the end. By sharing his water, Benny hadn't just helped Jake, he had helped the whole team. That night, as Benny lay in bed, tired but happy, he thought about the big game. Scoring the winning goal had been amazing, but what made him happiest was knowing that his small act of kindness had made a big difference. And from that day on, Benny always remembered that being a good teammate wasn't just about playing well on the field. It was about helping others, sharing what you have, and working together to achieve great things.